And then we have my only plushie on the bed, and this guy is the doctor. Now he's got a light up, glow in the dark lantern. I'm sure this is giving me lead poisoning. If you don't know what ADHD is, ADHD stands for Attention Deficit Hyperactive Disorder. These are also not the right. Okay. I go to the airport, and it's not even like a month later, I think. Do you know what they tell me? They say, "What is it like living in a 140 square foot Tuff Shed from Home Depot?" Let's go. You know, I don't know where my keys went, so I should probably leave it open. So this is it, right here. Guess we'll start a little outside tour. As you can see, it's not the smallest thing in the world, but it's definitely not big. Truly, there's one of the many cats. Truly tiny. Here's the front door. And welcome to my world. So I'm going to go step by step here. There's a lot to cover. First, take your shoes off, of course. So the way I have the camera mounted, it really is almost right in my eyes. It makes it a little harder to see things, but I think it gives you guys the most realistic expression of what it is like for me coming into what has been my house for the past 5 years. So let's just talk about a couple of the things. We have our plant, one of many you guys will see. Honestly, maybe I spoiled this. Hold on. We're gonna put the curtain up. There we go. Plates. All my silverware is here. I've got a couple spoons, couple forks. Nice, this is conveniently here for me. Couple bowls. I like this thing because it makes kind of a clanging noise sometimes when you do it. This is where I do all my recycling in here. So I'm going to put you guys down for a second. I'm going to take off my jacket. So this I want to show you guys. Because we're just running down everything. All of the little things I own, my projects. So this jacket, and I kind of wish I had a better way of displaying it, but that's all right. This jacket had been a project I've worked on, I mean, over the course of a couple years. It didn't take me a couple years to make, but it definitely took a while for me to finalize the design, order some of the pieces from India. So these shoulder pads, I guess they're not shoulder pads, but these pauldrons, I actually riveted all of these rivets I did myself. I did the chainmail myself. I looped it, the back piece I fully sewed all by myself. All of this stitching here I did. I think it's called the blanket stitch, and I made it kind of specifically. Each individual decision was made purposefully on this to make it look kind of, you know, haphazard, but in a way that was intentional. So love this piece, great jacket. I don't wear it enough because I've gotten a little bit more muscle on me in the past couple of years of working out, and so it makes it harder for me to fit into it. One of these days, maybe I'll sell it, but I love it so much. Got some hats. I'm not going to go through all my hats. Maybe I'll do that in another time. My boots. Tried and true. Good old reliables. Here we have Muay Thai gear. So this is going to be... There's a lot in here. And you know what? Again, I'll go through that. You know what? Why not go through it right now? I'm sure you guys will see. It's kind of a mess. Got stuff all over the place. And I also have a bit of a clutter. There's like, this is like not a stain that... Okay, well, never mind. I actually moved it and it moved, so that's embarrassing. I literally was scrubbing that thing with isopropyl alcohol earlier, and it did not come up. And then I literally just put my hand on it and it, whatever. We don't need to worry about that. This bag is not light, but it's not heavy either. So, I'm going to put the camera up here. That's a microphone, not a camera. Let's do a little unboxing. So these are my shin guards. They're shark. These are one of a couple pairs. As you can see, like, the inside's only kind of gross. I didn't wear these as much as I wore other ones, but I do love them. And I'm running by anything I see, I'm going to comment on. So, air purifier, chopsticks, because every time I get sushi burritos, they give me these chopsticks. And who is going to eat a sushi burrito with chopsticks? Are you kidding me? The sushi burritos are like this big. Like, I know how to use chopsticks, but explain to me exactly, what are we doing here? What technique? What in the laws of physics? I mean, okay, they're not that big. I don't, whatever, maybe, no, this is, I mean, this is already ridiculous. I just had an idea. Realizing I should probably be moving the mic around. First, we gotta... I'm leaving that in. I'm sorry you had to witness that. Is it cheating? Should I have gotten this from the jar? Okay, how about this? I'm not trying to cheat, you know what I'm saying? Alright. Let's grab ourselves one. Oh no. Okay. Good to start. I think I need to make it flat. So I need to choke up on them. Welcome. If you don't know what ADHD is, ADHD stands for Attention Deficit Hyperactive Disorder. These are also not the right... Okay. See, that was my problem, guys. I didn't have them angled the right way. That was why I was dropping everything. So from here on out, we're not going to drop a single item, okay? Okay, from this moment on, nothing will be dropped. Okay. How is that even staining? Okay, this gives me a... Oh, dude, this is... All right. Guys, this is going to be hard. This is tough. Maybe I hold it right... Don't worry, I'm still paying attention to that one. Maybe I have to hold it right at the... Okay, we're going to get another one. These ones are just unlucky, really, I think is what it is. We need... Alright, we need the control there. Okay. That's the issue, though. When I get it done, how am I going to... Oh, my God. Okay. I think this was the move, guys. Are you ready? I'm not giving up. Okay. We're changing up. We're changing up the strat here. I'm gonna do a strong pinch. Okay. Well, it seems we haven't broken that. It's just being crazy. Okay. If I get it, that's gonna burn me. Okay. Oh, it's gonna flip on me. All right, guys, here we go. Why is this so hard? All right, last chance here, last try. This is my last idea. I think we got a winner here. Okay. 1, 2, 2. Come on, 2. Come on. Okay, 3. Okay, we got 3. I can't tell what's more impressive, the fact that I did that with chopsticks or the fact that I did it first try. That's gonna have a little... vacation in the sink. So we've got some other notables, some other honorable mentions here. Not down there though. This is where I keep my toothbrush. It's very handy. Just magnetizes on there. I used to have a lot of very important private documents saved up here. Obviously I don't have them because I'm recording. This is my get out of my shed item for anybody who finds themselves here and I find them unwanted. Pots and pans, rice cooker, very dirty toaster oven, microwave, black light. Ooh, okay, maybe we don't use the black light. That being said, let's grab a couple of these things. I did just vacuum. pine needles everywhere. It's just gonna be like that. I'm sorry, I don't know what else to say. There's not much I can do about it at this point. I did my best to clean. So, something to say here. This is what I make all my smoothies in. I highly recommend it. It's called a Blend Jet. The brand has mixed reviews. I've had nothing but success. I think a lot of the problems people have with this thing is just user error, truly. So, you can see the downsides of living in such a small place. Also, this plant has been grabbing my head this entire time. So I've got a towel. I've got my boxing gloves here. I love these. These are 16 ounce. Super nice to spar with. They smell really, or 18, sorry. They smell really good right now. It's because they have these scent things in there. Gets rid of any bad smells. I have my kicking pads. So these things are solid. That's not how I had them. I haven't used this stuff as much as I wish I had, and that's purely because I've just been busy working. This is a pair of shorts, so I think Yokow makes the coolest stuff aesthetically. As you can see, I have a vibe that I'm going for. I like to stay fairly consistent to it. It evolves over time, but these are just really aesthetically pleasing to me. Something that was really cool is there is a Muay Thai artist, and his name escapes me right now, but they call him the General, and he had ribbons on his shorts for one of his fights. I don't remember exactly what it was, but I had my mom sew these. This was a long time ago. This was years ago, but I think they look super cool. They look really fun when I'm wearing them. They might come off as kind of like a feminine thing, but I assure you, the Thais don't really care about that kind of stuff like everyone else does. And that's what makes it liberating to be able to do something like this and not worry about whether or not people are perceiving you in some negative way or something that's not applicable to how you represent yourself, especially because you're teeping them in the head. So we got another, just a training jersey there. People are a lot more understanding when you're kicking them. Just another pair of shorts here. These are going to be the same as the shin guards, the shark ones. I like these a lot. Got the embroidery on, and this is like actually embroidered too, which I love. Very cool. I think this is like I don't know if this is actually a leather. It might be a faux leather. It feels almost real, but I feel like that's too good to be true. But as you can see, like leather with like an embroidery, it's just, the quality is like crazy with these things. So mad respect for them. Love these guys to death. We'll keep kind of all this out, and we will continue. This is a 511 tactical bag. This currently houses a VR setup, an entire full VR setup somehow contained inside this tiny bag. Something to note here that I think is cool. This is my name is not Philip K. Thomas, or Lomas actually, but this is a fully functional, like not handyman, as you can see it's got a lot of batteries and paraphernalia, but it's a lot of batteries. But it houses all of my stuff. This top lifts up, boots are on there right now, we're going to keep that there. Moving on, my suitcase, not one I normally travel with, but I have traveled with that before, as evidenced by the tag on it. Another bag, just random things in there. This is a belly pad actually for Muay Thai, so can take a good beating. I have a Jackery power station back there. These are some of my boots that have survived, actually, the Great Purge, because I've been moving. These are Mark Nason dragon boots. They used to have a dragon on the sole, and it's kind of gone now. But they're full leather, and they're made in Italy. These are $1,600 boots. No, I did not buy them for that. But they have this really cool, like, Maltese cross. I love the Maltese cross. You'll see it literally everywhere. It's one of my favorite designs. Don't even get me started on it, because I will describe the Siege of Malta 10,000 different ways, and that's best saved for maybe another video. Here is the Lovestruck hoodie, Lovesick, whatever, that I did a video on earlier, cutting it. Very nice. We've got a fire extinguisher, of course, for safety. 2 medical bags. Story with this, the guy who sold me this bag, I think he actually gave me this bag for free. I bought this one, and I was asking for this color, and this was one of the ones that they were using at conventions. And he said, yeah, man, I have one more. And I was like, hey, can I buy it from you? He's like, dude, I'll just give it to you. So this is full of medical gear, chock full of it. I'm not going to look, we're not going into this. This could take me a whole other time, but this is the med bag, and this is the airway bag. So I've got oxygen in here. We can leave that. Now, I'm going to take this mask off, and we're going to explore the second half. The second half of the shed. I hope you guys are ready. It's the coolest part. All right. I'm probably a little bit more audible as well now that I have that off. But, you know what? It's harder than you'd think with one hand. You know, I'm just not having luck with these today. I think we're going to have that one hanging out for a second here. You know what? No, I like the sound of this better. I love how it goes out. Not intentional. I was actually going to use this to light this candle. But very nice. Now, welcome to the second half of my room. We're going to walk in here. And you know, for a Tuff Shed, and I know the fisheye is doing a lot of work here, I've made it pretty cozy. So I'm going to run you guys through kind of all of the stuff I've got going on here. So here, this is my main mirror. I have it kind of near my chair, because I'll use this ring light if I want to shave or do anything here. I'll usually shave over like a t-shirt or whatever else. As you guys probably noticed, I'm going to briefly go back here. I do have a sink, but that's it. No bathroom. And that's tough at times, truly. But we're going to put that behind us now. So I do have some other friends here, as you can see. I've got plants, 2 of them. These are both golden pothos. That is not a golden pothos. I think it's a philodendron. Same thing with the guy over here. That's a philodendron. They're really hardy. They're very hard to kill, thank God, because otherwise I probably would have by now. Here we have my piano. This was given to me by a friend from my old church, actually. Like when I was a kid and I went to church. Super cool keyboard. It's like weighted keys and everything. He gave me this Behringer amp as well. And you know what? We might as well fire it up and just play a couple notes. So put this mic up here, I guess, for now. I think one of these needs to be plugged in. Actually, I think I want to turn this on first. Cool. Realizing since the sound's coming from there, it might actually fully. We should put it here. I don't know. It's been a very long time since I played this. Good enough. Good enough for now. Good enough for jazz. So we'll turn this off now. The trick is to turn off this first. Because if you turn off this first, the feedback of turning off and on this thing goes wow, not good. Ah, yes. There it is. The infamous lighter belt. I do love my lighter belt, and I had an ASMR video coming where I was actually going to create more lighter belts, because you can't see. Oh, it's kind of hidden. But around this corner, there's a pouch. Secret. You can kind of see it from there. There's a small pouch containing probably like, I don't know, 30 or 40 lighters or something. And there's kind of like a taping ritual that I do with them before I put them into these little leather sleeves. And that's my plan, is to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of those and just kind of record the process, and it's fun. Here are the tarot decks. This one I think is No, this one's the one I can use. Obviously. So let's do a little situation here. I'll figure these out later. Mud on my pants. Beautiful. All right. Let's flip over the middle one first. I think this is temperance. But I can't remember. Well, I guess it was upside down. So we'll leave it upside down. Believe this is, I think I originally called it Judgment, but I think it's the Empress. And then another upside down one. We'll put them right side up for now. I called this the Pope last time. And said he was being gestured, which, as the gesture, makes sense. I don't remember this card, but there it is. Please give me your best tarot reading of this in the comments. I would love to hear it, even if you don't know what's going on here. Make something up. Now we have my motorcycle helmet. Ah, yes, very good. Not really a ton to say about this guy. Love him to death. It's a very old Arai RXQ Snell, the dot sticker coming off. Something fun here. Chess. But it's magnetic chess. So whatever your game state is, it saves it for you. This is one of those examples of disposable income. Nobody needs a magnetic chess set, but I've played many a game with this and it's been super fun, especially on hikes. Those I was going to use for a video. I thought that tobacco-free cigarettes were actually like not bad for you. It turns out they're terrible. Didn't know that. Don't do that. That's why they're unopened. So we've got some of my motorcycle gear out here. I'm sure those of you who have watched any of my videos know about these gloves. It is humanly possible to put a glove on with one hand. It's a bit like a horrible backwards birth, though. I mean, that's as good as I'm going to get, really. But love these things. Okay, now taking it off. It's not going to work. Let's do it under a bit. There we go. These, I'm going to go over actually my favorite pieces, and any of you who are looking at getting into motorcycles, in any capacity. I strongly advise this. Now, gear is expensive. Winter riding gear is expensive, you know? I know you all have a waterproof jacket. I know that it's not rated to slide for 5 seconds on asphalt at 100 miles an hour. And that's important. We don't want to be cheese grating ourselves on the interstate. So these do a great job at avoiding that as much as possible. These are Pandomoto base layers. Now, I'm not sponsored by them, but my God, if I was, I would be shouting their praises to the rooftops for the end of my days. Well, okay, not for the end of my days, but till the end of my days. Let me get this thing out here. So this is one of their proprietary things. It's very fun to play with because it kind of holds its shape for a little while. It's made out of some strange material. So as you can see, it doesn't just like fall down. It kind of like, it heat molds to you. So this will like do a good job of wrapping around your shoulder, around your knee. These pads are in the knees, in the hips, and then when it comes to the top of you, they're also in the shoulders and the elbows. And then on the back, we've got a spine pad. And I'm not going to take it out with one hand because I'm not a glutton for punishment. As much as my messing around with the matches at the start of the video might lead you to believe. Come on, what are we doing? So we're going to put these back up here without torching them. I'll put those together later. Might be later today because I might be going and getting my bike. All right, so I'm not going to sit down. Right now we've got a beautiful little cyberpunk thing going on here. This was a custom built by me sound situation. This is so that when I'm screaming at 10-year-olds on arc raiders, because they're shooting me in the back, I can be not disturbing the neighbors. It works pretty well. It's actually on the back of that as well. Initially, I had this soundproof thing that I made. I kind of like jerry-rigged it together, and I had that on the side. I don't have that anymore. I put this mirror up because I like that. The mirror was originally over there, but it was being covered by what is my dirty clothes hamper. Currently filled with clean towels because I just did laundry. Obviously, the Star Wars prequels right here. We have the Return of the Jedi, Emperor Strikes Back, and Star Wars in reverse order, similar to how they actually are in Star Wars lore. I'm pretty sure they're like backwards or something. I don't know, something about that. Looks like we have my knife here. This thing has saved my life many a time. It's one of my favorite friends. I would say get yourself something that makes you feel safe. Because it's always good to be protected, especially in big cities. This is an orgonite. I think it's called orgonite. It's one of those like crystal girl things that's like a made up. It's like, it's not a real material, but they like called it something. I think it has brass shavings in it. It's also on here. This isn't really because I believe in it, but I was kind of like, what? You know, somebody gave me this, and I was like, what's going to hurt to hang it from things that might be producing some type of electromagnetic frequencies. This is my lighter. I keep it in this nice little necklace. Hang that from my pants. Drawing tablets there. This is where I see all of y'all talking in the chat when you are watching me on Twitch. Small little screen. It's not plugged in right now because I had my HDMI cable hooked up to my TV so that somebody could lay in the bed and watch me play my game while I played it here. It was a cool setup. I don't ever hardly use it, so that's where that is. As you can tell, the bed itself has a cool thing going on here. So this is actually a cotton. I think it's cotton. It's some special something. This is from, I think they're called Barabee. They make incredibly expensive blankets, and it's a weighted blanket. And the cool thing about it is you can wear it in the or you can use it in the summer, and because of whatever this fabric is, and also because of how, as you can see, completely, breathable it is, you get the benefits of a weighted item without any of the downsides of like just being hot as shit. Strongly recommend this. Shout out Barabee. Sponsor this video. That'd be cool. We have, of course, Stanchik, the clown. I'm not going to go into too much detail. You should take a shot every time I say that in this video about the situation here. Needless to say, there's a wonderful party going on, and Stanchik has just received word that his country has been invaded, and it's not going well for him. But he has to perform and make all the people laugh, even though he is clearly deeply dead inside. At least in this moment. So he's having a thought, and boy, do I sometimes feel like this poor fool. What else is there to talk about? So this guy, this is a little dude. I had to tape over his eyes because they're so bright that they will like illuminate the room. I also have this set up. It's not plugged in right now because I sometimes will plug in something else to charge there. This is a light, a reading light for when I read. Sometimes I read. Sometimes. What else do we got? Oh yes, we have the Pray grip tape. So, Pray grip tape. Pray today. Good grip tape. I like the aesthetics of the stuff they put out. I rep that on one of my decks. Those are only for me. I'm not going to talk about those. What else do we got here? We got my guitar. It's not plugged in right now, so I'm not going to play with it, but it's just an old Fender. These lights just started dying and burning out, so I switched to these. Well, I'm blinding you, sorry. These are going to be color changing when I press the button, but I haven't done that yet, and maybe I won't. I kind of like how things are illuminated currently. PS5, I got that a while ago before anyone else got theirs, because somebody that I went down to California to shoot a movie with bought that for me. I paid them the $500, but they didn't upcharge me, and I got it. It was like a pre-order thing or whatever. And I was playing the monster, actually, in this movie, and super cool story there. The TLDR is that they thought that we were maybe going to be something more than we were. And I said I was not interested in that. And then they stopped talking to me. And never sent me a copy of the work that I worked on for days filming. So, one day maybe I'll see that. These are Subaritos, as you can see, incredibly dusty, as is most other things. This was one of the best buys I've made in the past couple of years. It is almost always on. I don't think, it's not hot right now, but it is a heater, and it's wall mounted, and it just radiates heat. It does such a good job. Doesn't make a ton of noise. heats up stuff super efficiently. Got some rope. We have the interpret. I can't even pronounce that because it's like Belgian or something, German. I don't know, but pretty sick with my home defense tools. Everything over here has kind of already been touched on. We got some hats. This is a wig. Yes, it is mine. No, I do not wear it. That is for another video. That is coming out at some point. Who knows? These are little boxing gloves. I taped them because I was going to spray paint them. On the website, they said they would come in black. They did not, as you can tell. That is blue. Throwing knives. Somebody I used to like, I didn't room with them, but they were around a lot. They bought me those. They're kind of cool, but what am I going to use throwing knives for? I'm not throwing them at anyone. We got some plate. This was kind of the bigger part of the shoulder along with that. That initially went to those 2 plates that I made over there. So I pulled this off and then I did like my own rivets and stuff there. Inflatable Morning Star. I love that thing. It's beautiful. There's so many other, man, it's just thing after thing. So this is normally what I'll use to light those. I just wanted to be fancy, you know. These are my measuring cups. Over there is this, which is squished currently, but it has a lot of my kind of food that I'll eat throughout the day, including my greens. And so normally I'll have my blender, and then you want to see what this is my freezer looks like right now. It's nothing but like mango chunks, protein ice cream, and yeah. So I basically just get mango chunks and blueberries and stuff, and I will put them in the blender with the greens and water, and I'll just drink that and it tastes great. This is my current fridge situation. This is pretty much what I live off of. If these are found to cause cancer, I'm done. I'm gone. Good night. Nice knowing you guys. Yeah, I drink most of my food. Thing of cookies up there. Shout out cookies. This is gorgeous. I love this armor. This was supposed to be the armor that I was going to wear on a LARP that I was going to in a castle. I was so excited for this trip, and I had everything packed. I had a full suit. We had gone through the characters and the storyline, and I had like a full backstory and was so prepared to play this character's name was Savix of Worm Harbor. Super, like, seriously guys, I was so excited for this. I just came back from Canada, so I just passed, over the border of the US to Canada to visit my grandma, and I came back, no problems, right? Border passport, stuff like that. Gave them my passport, came back into the country, yada yada. I go to the airport, and it's not even like a month later, I think. Do you know what they tell me? They say your passport's expired. I said, what do you mean my passport's expired? Passports expire? And they're like, yeah, your passport's been expired for 2 years. And I was like, what do you mean my passport's been expired for 2 years? No one's ever told me this. And this was one of those moments where it's like, if your parents don't tell you that your passport expires, you're just not going to know. There's no reason that you would know. Like, it's a passport, Yeah, sure, your driver's license and things expire. But, like, I figured a passport was it just had you on it, You didn't have to renew it or anything. So I didn't get to go on the trip. Thousands of dollars of plane tickets because neither of us went. The other person I was going with as well, we both canceled. Super sad to this day. Here are some masks. When I was initially making my channel, because obviously I'm interested in anonymity, I wanted something like this because this is like the Nobushi mask from For Honor. So I messed around with it and I riveted these leather pieces on. It works really well. And then this one too. I like this one a lot. I might wear this once I kind of fix the eyes to be a little bit more, you know, I don't need to, it's pretty obvious what's wrong with the eyes. So yeah, up here, as you can see, snowboards, 2 of them. One, this element, oh my God, it's dusty in here. These are super sick. Man, I wish I used these more, truly. Love that board. I've had a ton of fun on the mountain with it. The one above is actually one I got for $60. The full kit. So I got the board, I got the boots, I got the bindings, all of it for $60 from this tech bro who was like pretty overweight, honestly, didn't look like he was going to use it. And he was like, dude, he's like, I just broke up with this chick and like I told, like, she wanted to go snowboarding and stuff. We never went, and I just want to get rid of this crap, you know? And so I was like, dude, I'll take that off your hand for $60 because that is like $1,100 worth of stuff right there. So that was a snag. Total steal. This is just storage, really. Yeah, blackout curtains, super important. Keep the heat out. There's some other stuff down here. So this is my leather working. This is the setup. I've got a peening hammer. I've got my other hammer. I've got some scissors. This isn't blacksmith related at all. I'm just kind of trying to make room. These are what I use to cut my rivets, actually. So to cut the tops off of them. So whenever I have a rivet, say like a long one like this, I'll punch it. That's the owl over there, by the way. There's not an owl outside. I'll punch it, and then I'll clip the tip of it, and then from there I will take my anvil. Oh, this thing's actually really heavy for being so small because it's full of steel. I'll take my little mini anvil, and I will do it, do the thing. I use this as well because this is sometimes good. I'll set that on there, and I'll do my punching into this, obviously, so I don't chip the, chip the head of my punch. But yeah, tons of stuff in here. Buckles, you name it, I've got it. I love doing the leather working. It's been a super cool passion project of mine. I have a lot of first aid things in here. Tons of stuff. This kettlebell is 20 pounds. And honestly, I've done every workout I will ever need to do for the rest of my life with this. I'll just sit here and I'll do my like forearm stuff and everything else, biceps, shoulders, the only 3 really important muscle groups for men. I'm joking, I do a lot more than that. Speaking of muscle groups for men, I also got these, and recently, because I've been getting into nonsense on the internet dealing with armored combat, I've been practicing holding this, because this is 7 pounds, and swinging it. And practicing, shouldering it. Obviously, I can't like do like a strike like that because there's just no room, But feeling what it's like, and then this one is 15 pounds. This is This is not a single-armed weapon. It's hard just to hold this, honestly. I'm not practicing with this thing. Normally I'll have this two-handed. And that'll be my practice. I've only done it a couple days in a row. I'm hoping it's going to help me when I go out there, just to have some level of familiarity. Also, this is not always open. I just have it open for now. But because it's open, it's not letting me put in my code, but it's also touchscreen, which is cool. So, camera died, but I'm back. I feel like there's probably another couple things I could mention. One thing that I haven't said yet is that I put all these boards up. This was a really fun project. I did this with my dad, and initially I got all these boards from a pile that was out behind a bakery over in Selwood. And the top of these boards are all white, but the underside was this really cool, I think they're cedar, I don't know exactly. But initially I told my mom at the time, I was like, hey, I know you go to this bakery a couple times, can you ask them, are they available? And she was like, yeah, I'll ask. And she never got around to it. And one day I just took my old 4Runner. This was like the 3rd gen. It was a green one. And I just drove there and started loading them in the back. And this cute girl who worked there came out, and she was like, oh my gosh, are you here for the boards? And I looked at her and I was like, yeah. She was like, oh, that's so good. Yeah. We heard that you were coming out to get them, but we hadn't heard back from you for almost a month. So, and I was like, yeah, well, sorry for the wait, but I'm getting them now. So apparently there's somebody who was supposed to come take these that just ghosted them completely. So I got to make her day, and then obviously I got these really cool boards, and I used them to line the ceiling in this place and give it a lot of character. And character it has. And I'm going to miss it. Honestly, this is going to be a big change. I've been here for 5 years. 5 years is a long time. It's a long time to do anything, And there have been so many changes in my life in that time. And all of them have in some way been orchestrated through this space. This space has been a place where I've been able to have solace even in the worst times, when there have been problems in relationships or family issues or really tough days at work. And my work is very unique in the way that it can be difficult. And so I just appreciate any of you who are still listening at this point, came through this little show and tell. I can see up there, and I didn't show this to you, but there are 3 Blu-rays up there. One of them is Interstellar, the other one is Cowboy Bebop, and then I believe, let's rack my brain, I think the 3rd one is not actually a Blu-ray. It is God of War Ragnarok, which was a great game. But I just saw that while I was sitting here. Also, something to mention, this is a plushie, kind of, not really a plushie, but it's a Morningstar, and I want to make some of these. I know a girl who works for a perfume place that actually does these, and I think it's pretty sweet. So I'd love to get into doing some sewing as well. And then we have my only plushie on the bed, and this guy is the doctor. Now he's got a light up, glow in the dark lantern. I'm sure this is giving me lead poisoning. or asbestosis. I don't know what is used to make glow-in-the-dark things. I just don't trust it. You know what I'm saying? Because all the glow-in-the-dark stuff when you were younger, you couldn't eat. If I can't eat it, I don't trust it. That's kind of how I'm oriented. So, but yeah, here we are, winding down. A nice view, a comfortable bed. It's a nice place to be, and to be honest, I'm going to be sad to see it go. But I just wanted to commit it into the infinity that is the internet so that this space stays alive and maybe I can recreate it one day. But fun stuff in the pipeline, cool things on the horizon, and I can't wait to share. So come back soon.